Hello guys, welcome. This is Deepika from wealthandhealthmastery.com, and in this video we are going to see, should you worry about Nvidia stock falling down and what you should do at this point. Should you add more Nvidia stock in your portfolio or should you wait for Nvidia to start going up? We're going to address all these questions in this video. So first of all, Nvidia is not the only stock that is falling these days. The whole tech sector is on the sell-off, and there are a couple of reasons for that. Number one reason is the Fed was supposed to cut the interest rates, but they have not done so far. So this increases a level of uncertainty in the market, and also there is a fear of recession going around. The second important reason is the unemployment rates are on the rise. People are losing their jobs, so the unemployment has increased over the last couple of months. That also causes a lot of fear in the stock market, and it affects the stock market. The third important reason is people are selling off the tech stocks to move more towards the small companies, the Russell 3000, and the reason is they see a lot more potential in the Russell 3000 as compared to the tech sector. So these are certain reasons why the stock market is falling. Now, what you should do with Nvidia stock, if you have Nvidia stock at the moment, should you be worried about it? Personally, I will definitely recommend not to worry about it. This is an opportunity to add more Nvidia stock in your portfolio. And the reason I say that, because I have seen their past quarterly reports, and I'm going to show you one of them in this video, and we are going to decide how good Nvidia is doing, and the growth trajectory is going to remain strong over the next couple of years for Nvidia. So let's go over to the quarterly report. Now, as you can see here, in the revenue has increased from $7 billion to $26 billion for Nvidia, and this is a rise of about almost 4 times. You can see almost 4 times, $7 billion to $26 billion, but their cost of revenue has increased, which is only doubled. So even though the cost of revenue has increased, but the increase in the revenue is more substantial as compared to the increase in the cost of revenue. Their gross profit have increased from $4.6 billion to $20 billion. There's almost a 5 times increase over here as well. Now, the operating expenses, if you look at, they are spending money on research and development, which is a good thing because everybody should be innovating, and research and development is the key areas, and they have increased their spending in the research and development. Their sales, general and administrative has also gone up a little bit from $633 million to $777 million. So the total operating expense has increased from $2.5 billion to $3.4 billion. So there is an increase of almost $1.2 billion here. Now, the operating income has increased. You can see here there's a substantial increase from $2.1 billion to almost 16.9, almost $17 billion. If you compare their income before tax, that has increased from $2.2 billion to $17.2 billion. Their net income has increased from $2 billion to $14.8 billion. So there is a substantial jump in the revenue, their income, etc., based on the last quarter. And we are going to have the next quarter results announced in August 28th, so stay tuned for that. And I'm also going to review their quarterly report once it is released, so we will see how the Nvidia stock is going to perform. If you see here, net income per share has increased. The basic one has increased from 0.83 cents to $6.04, which is a huge jump. Their diluted EPS has went up from 82 cents to $5.98. So that is another jump from the Nvidia stock. Now let's take a look at the financials here. So I'm going to go over to Nvidia's ZAC here, and let's do the fundamental analysis here. So fundamental charts, and you can see here the first chart I'm going to look at is the revenue, is how their revenue is doing. And you can see here the revenue, if you see, there is a steep curve here. So there's a huge jump here in the revenue from 2023 all the way to 2024. So there is a huge jump, and currently it is sitting at $80 billion. So the revenue is on the rise. The other important thing is their gross margin. Let's take a look at the gross margin. Their gross margins are also increasing. They're around 75.29. You can see here almost 75.29%. So the gross margins is on the rise, and that is another steep curve here. So that's another jump. The other important thing we will look at is the gross profit. So gross profit should also increase, and yes, you can see here the profit is also on the rise. So all these numbers tell me Nvidia, you should not be worried about. There's nothing has changed in the company itself. It is just the stock market which is on a sell-off these days, and I won't be worried about it, and you should also not worry about it at all. And next important thing is their debt to equity ratio. It is very less. It is only around 0.17. You can see here the debt to equity ratio is 0.17. So they do have a lot of assets compared to their liabilities or compared to their debt. So that is another important factor. So based on this, the company health looks very good to me. I see a huge potential for Nvidia. Nvidia is on the rise, and the demand for the GPUs that Nvidia building will always going to be on the increase, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. Now let's take a look at, is this stock an expensive stock at the moment, or is this a cheap stock to buy? We will decide based on the PE ratio and the PS ratio. So let's go over to the PE ratio here. So you can see I'm on the investing.com, Nvidia here, and I'll go over to the financials and the ratios. If the PE ratio is comparatively less compared to the industry, I'm in a good position to buy the stock, okay? And their sales are also increasing, so their PS ratio should also be less. So if you see here, their PE ratio is around 61.89, whereas the industry ratio is around 73.93. That tells me, comparative to the industry, the stock is available cheap. I'm not saying 61 is a small number. It's a huge figure, but Nvidia, looking at the revenue growth, I do see this is something you can, for the timing, you can ignore. And currently Nvidia stock is on the sell-off, and if it goes below $100, you can definitely add it to your portfolio. Price to sales is comparatively high to the industry standard, whereas industry standard is sitting at 17.49, and the company's price to sales is 33.05. Their price to cash flow is also high, which is 80.67, whereas the industry is 40.66, which is high as well. So these are certain ratios for Nvidia stock. Now, should you be worried about Nvidia? Personally, I won't worry about Nvidia. Nvidia is a great company, and having stocks in the portfolio is going to be huge benefit to your portfolio. So you should not worry. And what you should do in the dip, ideally you should be adding Nvidia every month to your portfolio, because that's how you'll decrease your dollar cost average. And during this dip, you can actually increase that amount to certain number, because you're getting the stocks at a discounted rate. Nvidia is a great buying opportunity at the moment. Shares are falling, and once the quarterly reports are out, you will see a huge jump in the stock price for Nvidia. So that is what my recommendations are. Now you tell me in the comment section, what do you think about Nvidia stock? Should you buy, hold, or sell Nvidia at the moment? And if you want to watch such kind of videos in the future, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any video from the channel. I'm going to see you tomorrow with another stock video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye bye, take care.